I love hearing how you experience the process model. It makes me want to read it again.
Yes, because today I'm reading it now. There's just well, maybe 3 groups, but I'm used to accompany people just reading it and then sharing my explanation. But every time I enter it, I really feel it's I don't know. It's like I don't know where it came from. Really, I really don't know where it came from.
Where the process model came from.
Yes, yes, yes. It's.
Yeah.
I think it's an unbelievable project.
Yes, yes, yes. I love how Jean says that everything has to come as tears come and laughter. It came, right? The process.
Yes. Yes. But this coming, I sometimes I said people get insane trying to go to those places, but he came back with such wonderful concepts.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I love that about Gene's work. I mean, I've been nourished by his work and his thinking, all my adult life since I was maybe 32 when I met him. And I'm now 81, so it's a long time. It's always fresh and new. Yes, and many people go off the deep end, and then there's something so grounded there.
Yes.
Grounded and yet free. He doesn't ground it by constricting it. There are no walls around it, and that's so amazing.
Yes.
He doesn't ground it by constricting it. There are no walls around it, and that's so amazing.
Yes.
I'm just sort of taking that in myself about that groundedness. That what I found such a stumbling block in Christianity was the and in religion in general is this need to literalize something in order to ground it. And Jean had this completely other way of grounding it, grounding those transcendent experiences in the body and the living and in the ordinary.
No, because there are so many things that I can share about prayer.
I wanted to ask you if you could to say how you would see the difference between the field of prayer and the field of focusing, as that's what I was trying to define for myself yesterday, when I was doing the helpers group, and I was feeling like they're close, but it's really different, and I wondered what you would say about it.
Yes. First of all, I want to say that we explore this question. We explore this question because although we find so many similarities when we're in the field of prayer, it's not as the same as we are focusing.
Yes.
And when we are focusing is not the same as we are in the field of prayer. And that's why now we are doing a focusing session, and then we are moving, like the POF, we're moving to the field of prayer, and also then continuing because we want to move. So this is the general statement.
Yes, yeah.
More, if I would say, there is some, I would say, how do I put it? First of all, it's interesting just to want to sit and make a list. It's not that we didn't do it We just spoke about it, but I think that each field is guided by different orientation. And they could support each other, but it's not the same orientation.
Yes.
There's something in the prayer field that I feel that there is several kind of orientations that may be, but implicitly in the focusing field. For example, in ongoing acknowledging that the Baruch call it the infinite or the beyond is in a way the presence of it is something that can be listened to, and it's beyond everything that I can do in the realm of human interaction. There is something that is very, very, I feel, toward the. It's true in focusing, but it's not as explicit. To see to see people in a how would I say, in a good eye, and to release. And I can continue. Maybe Baruch will continue because I think that the prayer is much more familiar to him. But it puts me in a place that I put my hands here because it's like it's from this position.
Yes.
From this position, I can focus and I can open something, and I think I resolved it in a way, or it's been carrying forward, and then I can see it from that perspective, and I see that I didn't so much that I didn't see because I was in a way from my engagement in the process, and here I'm just one part of the many here, and it's not through me, although it's also through me, but it's in a different level.
Right. I want to try to say some of that back. Yes. So precious what you're saying. One thing is the awareness of the infinite, that in the field of prayer, that is more explicit, this awareness, and that brings maybe a different attitude, that the focusing attitude of openness and receptivity opens further to a sense of the sacred, sense of vast. And I think of maybe the more of the more, and in focusing we talk about the more, and then
the more of the more, yes.
More of the more, right. And then something about seeing with a good eye, seeing the development, or seeing the life, wanting more life that we have in focusing, but in the field of prayer, again, it's the fullness of that sense of life being so all-encompassing. And then the third thing of the perspective in focusing of the I and making a relationship with all the parts in me, all the voices in me, and recognizing that the I is a bigger, vaster one there that's connected to everything. But in the field of prayer, it's more the perspective of the everything, and then I am one of the everything, one of the aspects of the big system. I'm only a little teeny part of the big system.
Yes.
That is a different perspective, and I see those three things very clearly as you say them.
Yes, and I can add just for the focusing part that there's something in focusing that that it's really open to the every tiny of difficulties or something that is twisted, and because sometimes if I go to the larger picture, this thing from the far doesn't seem so important, and things that are more global are coming in focusing. What I like, focusing hasn't. You're really going to something small that is very twisted, and you're staying with it, and then it opens from itself, and in a way changing. It's also usually prayer now, because we're doing a little bit of POF, it's in pairs, but usually prayer is alone, and here you open it with words. So this is through a listener, so this is extremely important. Although now we're doing it a little bit differently, because we can also, but usually when we focusing is so much interactive.
Yes.
Yes. So this is your first shot.
Focusing, going right into the nitty-gritty, and letting it open. And for me, there's a difference in focusing, emphasizing the tiny steps of opening. And there's something in the field of prayer where everything is open, and we're seeing the microcosm from the open place, and it's less about the little steps of change and more about being with the big openness. Does that seem right to you?
Yeah, not being with the big openness, although we can look at a specific situation, and then we need focusing steps if we want to enter again. Yes,
absolutely. Yes, but it's almost like, maybe from my experience, almost like two different gestures, that the focusing is following each word, and the prayer is being there, naked, as Baruch said, and less about following and more about receiving, although both of them are about receiving too. So I guess it's hard to make those distinctions.
Mm-hmm. You want to add, Baruch, or how do you find it?
First of all, I want to say that if this meeting, the conversation that we have now, will be in the meeting with everyone, it can be wonderful, as it is, because I think the topic, the issues, the way that you ask question, and your way to analyze things is so important in this conversation, and it's something precious by itself. I think this is an endless conversation.
Yes, endless conversation.
And I don't say, and I don't exaggerate, because there are, like to describe, to understand, to put even avnei derech, nothing to
stones, like
stones that you can go. It doesn't matter. To understand, I will go in another way. It's very important as someone the perspective that someone understand himself or open to sense his life. There is a huge difference that depends on the way that's the perspective that how someone perceives not only his life, but we can say the cosmos, the situations.
Yeah.
And again, like you said before, how much he is conscious to the layers, to the deeper layers, till he arrived to the place of the unknown, of the infinite, and he can sense. This is the simple way to perceive himself. Like is not. We have our personality. We have what we are conscious of, and we have not only what we are not conscious of, but we have something that is not unconscious. This is something that is infinite.
Yes.
The sense when I go to the focusing process, who is going to the focusing process? In which layer I arrive?
Yes.
When I understand other people in this situation, how much I can contain to open the layers of the other people, really to like you said before in a wonderful way, this is to open to the more of the more. And, and I think for me, the field of prayer is after I can go to the very subtle and very small resolutions of the process, but I look at it. I must first of all to be not to put myself out from the implicit field. I am part of the implicit field. I am part of a field. And I sense then when we open to the field of prayer and then we do the processing, the process of focusing, the felt sense all the time it changes itself.
That the being recognized.
Yes, because you come from because you sense yourself, reality, situation in a wide, you are open in a wider way. Then the felt sense and new self-understanding, new meanings, they emerge, and you are surprising. You say, okay, so everything changed. Then after you can go in many. The question: what will be the next step if you go to the process of focusing, or you go to the process of focusing mixed with certain invitation of prayer? This is already something that can empower the process for me in the process of focusing.
Yes. So I want to make sure I got that there's something about coming to the focusing from this big perspective changes the felt sense, and we're open not only to our lives, our own personal lives and situations, but open to life and open to the cosmos, open to the big mystery. And that changes our experience of our lives as they're opening in the process.
This is one thing. You open to all this wider perception, but another thing, you agree to open yourself to even for you who is making the focusing process, who you are. Is like you in the field of prayer. The field of prayer is like a container that I can be there beyond what I even unconscious. I say this is who I am. Like I arrive to the place that even this little something that I hold, and I say this is the I. You drop it, and you are not, and you are still absolutely conscious, absolutely aware, absolutely exist, but without these subtle boundaries that even you hold. You say, "This is I am Baruch." You are lean, okay. You arrive to the field that you can drop it for a while, and you are continue to be there. You are not melting in the infinite. You are conscious. You are conscious without these little boundaries. And then something else can make you carrying forward.
Right.
You can say something very essential because you agree to drop something.
Right. So there's an agreement there to drop the little I for a while, not to let go of it. I think of when Gene said that he puts nothing between him and the client, and he may have all his ideas and tools and right next to him, but leaves them because there's nothing between. And I think you're saying that about the field of prayer, that we agree to put nothing between us and this big perspective, this big mystery, and to drop the boundaries of the little I. But it's right there. It's not melted. It's right. Yes.
I can say someone is there, but not someone else. You even agree to accept that someone is there, and you relate to yourself.
That's
someone
right.
is there.
Someone is there, right?
Yes.
Yes. I wanted to just further what you said a little bit and see if you agree that this agreement, I think that often prayer without focusing, we need to have the agreement first. The prayer is the agreement. But I think that focusing is the experience of slowly surrendering as the process goes forward, so that the agreement comes organically, and we might not even make it consciously, that there's a kind of growing agreement that takes over as we let go into the focusing. It's almost like the focusing has its own faith built into it, where we're seeing moment by moment how something opens, how something carries forward, that we're being led in a way, that we're being guided, rather than first agreeing to ask for guidance or something. I don't know.
I don't know if it's a first agree. First of all, your description is very
wonderful.
Important. It's wonderful.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. Your description, wonderful. I think in the process of prayer, it is the same. You know that you have disagreement, but when you, because prayer, it's a process.
Yes.
Process, you go and go deeper and deeper, and then the moments of carrying forward is the same.
As you describe that, I see that the process makes the agreement, and the agreement makes the process. That it's not one thing comes first and then the other. That it's built in to the process. Yes, I see that.
And maybe I mentioned just quickly, because as Baruch said, it's an ongoing conversation, because there's so much to it. But one thing that Baruch says a lot, and I think it's an interesting distinction. In the usual way that we think of focusing, I say in the usual way because maybe we can think of a different way, but in the usual way, there's the carrying forward of the situation, there's the carrying forward of myself, carrying forward how my body holds the situation, etc. And Baruch says that in the field of prayer, there's the carrying forward of creation.
Yes.
Through me.
Yes. Creation through me. Yes. And that's much more, I think that's true in focusing, but we don't, we're not aware of that.
We don't speak about it.
Speak about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.